Hey, hey, hey. We are live on Facebook with Max Your Metabolism episode 2. TJ Hoban here live for Healthy Fit Club. If you haven't already, like and share Healthy Fit Club. It is a community of the industry's top physicians, nutritionists, therapists, trainers, you name it. All the greatest minds in the industry. I don't know why we disconnected, but we're back. All the greatest minds in the industry coming together for one great purpose, which is to bring you unadulterated, unbiased, scientific information on health and wellness. And who doesn't want to be healthier and more fit? So, like and share Healthy Fit Club. Welcome to Max Your Metabolism, episode 2. Every Thursday at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. You'll find me right here, right now, and you'll be able to ask me whatever questions that you want related to maxing out your metabolism so that you are perpetually in ketosis, perpetually burning fat. And there's a certain way to eat and train to do so, which is how I've been able to stay in shape year-round, shooting covers for over 20 years without dating myself, while dating myself. Bottom line, it works. I do it myself. I do it with my clients, my friends. There are specific techniques, and some of which I've created myself that actually help maintain the body you want year-round, and it's not going to kill you, and it's all about adopting these healthy principles until they become habits, because it's a lifestyle, not a week style or a month style. It's a lifestyle. So I'm going to wait for a couple more people to join in. Hi, Kimberly Martini, all the way from Chicago. And Red Francisco. Here's Cesar Rios. And who else we got here? Awesome. We've got plenty of people tuning in. I'm here with my mom. Mom, come in, say hi. She's visiting from Chicago.
Hello.
Love her so much. We're going, I'm actually taking her down to the Santa Monica Beach right after the broadcast for live concerts on the beach. It's pretty majestic. It's amazing, actually. I'm really excited about it. So, hey, Mark. What's up, buddy? My great partner with Healthy Fit Club, Mark Viterillo. Amazing to have you here, brother. Kim Goodman, how you doing? She says hi, Mom. And so she says hi back, Kim. So, without further ado, this episode is dedicated to how do you eat? How do you eat to max your metabolism? We all know there's a certain way to train, and I touched down on a little bit of that last week with maximizing your calorie expenditure and your calorie burn after the workout, and there's a specific way to train that helps maximize that, and I touched on that last week. Going to get more into it next week, but this week, we're talking about how do you eat? How do you eat to maximize your fat loss, to maximize your fat burn while preserving your muscle so you don't lose that muscle tone and that body that you've been working on for so long. We've all seen people that kind of get skinny fat. You know, they don't have the proper aesthetics or the proper body composition. Part of that is the diet. Part of it's the way they're training. And so there's a very specific way to eat that will help keep your fat burning mechanisms going around the clock. So if you're training properly, and whether it's on Fitbit and you're doing 10,000 steps, or you're doing HIIT training, or you're doing some crazy Pilates, or whatever it is, obviously you're exercising and you're engaging your metabolism. So once it's engaged and once it's working, you don't want to shut off your fat burning capabilities. And so that comes down to what you're eating. Anytime you eat something high glycemic, something that has a lot of sugar in it, simple carbs, basically, spikes your insulin level. And anytime you have elevated insulin levels, you cannot burn fat. And so the American diet, for the most part, is carbohydrate based. The problem with that is 68% of all Americans are now overweight or obese. 20% of all American deaths are associated with obesity. It's an epidemic. It's no joke. The reason is because of our diet and the fact that we aren't moving as much as we used to. Those two things combined. You've all heard the expression, abs are made in the kitchen. I can testify to that. I eat clean. I train dirty, but I eat clean. All right? They are made in the kitchen. And weight loss basically comes down to simple math. Calories in versus calories out. But body composition and overall health come down to the quality of calories you're eating, your ratio of carbs and protein to fats, all right? So, how do we eat to give us the maximal fat loss, to help convert our stored fat into energy. Obviously, if every time you eat simple carbohydrates or sugars, it spikes your insulin and shuts off your body's fat burning capabilities, you want to eat lower glycemic foods, okay? And so if you're training right and you're activating your metabolism, you don't want to get in your body's way by shutting off your fat burners and reaching for a Gatorade right afterwards, or a banana, which has great potassium in it, but it's loaded with sugars. And so what do you do? What do you turn to? There's a certain time to eat carbs. There's a certain kind of carbs you eat. Obviously, you want to go more complex carbs, the better. So when it comes to weight loss, it is basic math. 3,500 calorie deficit burns 1 pound of fat. So it takes 3,500 calories to burn 1 pound of fat off your body. That means if you have a calorie deficit of about 500 calories a day, over the course of a week, you're going to burn 1 pound of fat. So if you need 2,000 calories, a day to maintain your current body weight, and you eat 1,500 calories a day, you're going to burn 1 pound of fat a week, right? But how do you burn fat while maintaining muscle? Well, there's a couple things you could do. I personally make sure that I'm getting enough protein, number one. It's the building blocks of all your muscles, your hormones, your vital organs. And supplementing when you're training hard and you're breaking down your muscles with BCAAs is also pivotal, because those are the building blocks. That's in the protein. That is what we're getting after. L-glutamine actually helps prevent muscle breakdown. And so if you're overtraining and you're having your body is actually eating up its own muscle because you're not getting enough of the vital nutrients, these aminos and other things from your diet, because you're eating a restricted diet, a low-cal diet. You've got to make sure that you're getting your proper supplementation. You've got to, if you're on a calorie restricted diet, you really want to make sure that you're getting a good vitamin, a real vitamin. You want to make sure that you're getting aminos. You want to make sure you're getting L-glutamine, especially if you're doing hypertrophy training, muscle training. Otherwise, you're going to wear yourself down and you're going to hit a wall. Okay? And so the object of the game is ketosis. How do we metabolize our fat? Your fat starts metabolizing once we burned off all the readily available energy in our bodies, right? That's how it works. There's storage cells like batteries. That's your fat. And the only way you're going to get at that stored fat is if you have no readily available energy. So the more you're in ketosis and eating a low-calorie diet, obviously it's going to force your body to call upon fat reserves. There's a couple of hacks that I personally use, or that I've used in the past, and that are great with people that want to burn a lot of fat. For example, training first thing in the morning on an empty stomach is a great way to tap into those fat reserves. Ideally, 12-hour fast. Let's just say you ate at 8 o'clock at night, you get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, you get your cardio done. It's called fasted cardio, or you work out and you get your training done. In doing so, it's literally calling upon your fat reserves, because there is no readily available glycogen in your body. It's gone. And so if you're training on an empty stomach and you haven't eaten in 12 hours, you've got to get that from somewhere. So it's going to start tapping into your fat. That's a great hack. It's a great secret for people to jumpstart your mornings. And if you really want optimal burn, then do your morning cardio fasted, and then sometime later in the day or after work, then get your workout in. And your workout doesn't need to be long, 30 minutes, as long as you're elevating your heart rate to 80 to 84% of your max heart rate for 12 to 20 minutes a day, right? And you are breaking down your muscle fibers with some resistance training, so that it takes a lot of energy for that to heal over the next couple of days. Both those things are going to elevate your EPOC, your max calorie expenditure after your workout, that max burn, calorie deficit after your workout. And the name of the game is calorie deficit for fat loss, for weight loss, right? If you're supplementing with those BCAAs, or getting enough protein, maybe taking a little L-glutamine to prevent that breakdown, you're going to give your body the nutrition it needs, the support that it needs, even if you're on a low restricted diet, right? So there is a way to build muscle and burn fat at the same time. And the more muscle you build, the more fat and the more calories your body is naturally going to burn. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So ladies, do not be afraid to resistance train with weights or bands. or even body weight exercises. At the end of the day, you need to be sore. You need something on your body needs to be sore every day. That's my prescription to you. If you can do that, your body is constantly working to get back to homeostasis, to heal. That burns a lot of calories. Not only are you building a little bit of muscle mass and getting a little stronger every single time you break it down, which is adding to that EPOC, that calorie burn, in conjunction with activating your heart rate and getting it up into that 80 to 84% zone 12 to 20 minutes a day. Now, both those things combined are gonna max your calorie expenditure. But on the flip side, you want to make sure you're eating right. You want to make sure you're eating that low glycemic diet. There's plenty of diets out there: the ketogenic diet, the paleo diet, and there's others. But ultimately, it's not rocket science. It's lower glycemic foods. Stay away from simple carbs, your starches. I'm Italian. I don't eat pasta or lasagna. It's a cardinal sin. But I deal with it, okay? Because I want to live a longer, healthier, happier life. Let's forget about the oxidation that the sugars cause your cell and make them age. Let's forget about that for a minute. Let's just think about our waistline, okay? If you want to have that lean, sexy summer body year round, then you just need to make some modifications. One of the best tips I can give you is stop drinking anything that has sugar in it. You're drinking calories. It's horrible. You'd be surprised. You can drink 1,500 calories a day and not even notice. And just not even know. And wonder why. I'm training. I'm eating right. What's going on? You're drinking 1,500 calories a day of juices. All right? So if you're going to juice, go with the greens. No, none of the sweet fruits in there. Just your green juices. If you're going to go with fruit, stick to the low glycemic fruits like berries. They're free and clear. Anything else? Boy, you're spiking your insulin. Eating watermelon? It's like eating bowls of sugar. Literally, it jacks your insulin through the roof. I love watermelon. Hard to give it up. If I need to carb load, for a shoot and look like a freak, I'll pig out on watermelon because it makes me look huge and I retain water and glycogen. My muscles are jacked and pumped, so when I'm doing the photos, I look enormous. I look like I'm juicing. I literally am, but it's watermelon juice. It's good for you. So understand the way that certain foods affect your insulin levels because you don't want to spike your insulin. So look for lower glycemic grains. For example, quinoa, my favorite grain of all time. I have it every day. It's got 6-7 grams of protein per serving. Can you name another grain with protein in it like that? It's amazing. And because it's diversified, it's low glycemic. So you want to eat low glycemic carbohydrates. Eat all the greens you want, okay? If you're on a calorie-restricted diet, you might have issues with your intestines. You might not be able to go to the bathroom because when you eat lower calorie and low carbohydrate diet, odds are you're dehydrated because carbs have a lot of hydration in them, usually, right? And so, especially when you're on a low-carb diet and a calorie-restricted diet, you really want to be mindful of getting enough fiber through your greens. So double your greens on the daily. And if you can't get enough greens like me, drink greens, but don't drink the sweet juices with it. Drink the low carb, fresh juices, or even take a Metamucil or something that's going to give you the fiber. It's going to lower your cholesterol, it's going to cleanse out your intestines, and you're going to have a slimmer waistline, which is what it's all about. So, in a nutshell, in order to spike your metabolism, train a certain way. In order to keep your fat-burning mechanisms on, don't shut them off by eating low glycemic diet. Don't shut them off by eating a high glycemic diet and simple sugars. Focus on eating a low glycemic diet. It's that simple. It's not rocket science. So there's a time and place for everything. Stop eating carbs later at night for your last meal. Really taper them down. Greens are okay. Minimal's okay. It's important regardless of what kind of diet you're on, that you're having at least 1,200 calories a day or your body's going to hit a wall and it's going to hold on to everything because it's in fear of its life. And it's not going to know when it's getting its next meal and it's in preservation mode. So I'm sure many people have hit this wall before. Maybe they're overtraining, they're not eating enough calories, and it's the same effect. At the end of the day, you got to eat some carbohydrates so your body doesn't hold on to every carb that you put in it. All right, so you got to give the body a little bit of carbs every day, and just make sure that they're the right carbs. And if you're really active, then you're obviously going to have to take more carbs. that perfect ratio of protein to carbs to fat really depends on you. It's an individual thing. There's not one size fits all. So if you want help with that, obviously I can help you out with that. That's not why I'm here. I'm here to give you as much information as I can to help you make educated decisions that are going to keep your metabolism cranking around the clock. So cut down on the carbs later in the day. Start off in the morning with a great workout, fasted without anything in your system. Water's okay, black coffee, tea. Don't sweeten it up with sugar. A great sugar substitute, stevia. It's a plant, there's no calories, and it doesn't taste quite as sweet as sugar, but listen, man, I'll take it. Another useful hack, check this out. I love to have old-fashioned oatmeal in the morning, right? Boil it every morning along with my hard-boiled eggs, and I only eat the egg whites, and I eat the grain, the oatmeal. But on the oatmeal, I'll put my stevia and I'll add a little cinnamon. Cinnamon, what people don't know, is that it can cut down the glycemic index of whatever you put on it by up to 30%. So by putting tasty cinnamon on my oatmeal, I'm literally decreasing the impact it's going to have on my body in terms of the glycemic index. And it's going to keep my fat burning mechanisms rocking around the clock, which is what I do. So those are helpful little hints. I'll obviously share more golden nuggets in future episodes, including a complete list of foods to avoid, foods to eat, obviously things to avoid off the top of my head. Beer, man, that's a harsh one. That beer will spike your insulin harder than eating spoonfuls of sugar because it doesn't have to go through your digestive. It absorbs through your membranes and jacks you through the roof. So it's also got yeast in it. And what does yeast do to bread? It makes it rise. So for those people walking around with beer bellies, part of the reason is it's spiking their insulin and they're holding fat. The other part is, they got yeast belly. So there's plenty of things that I can help you with in terms of foods to eat, foods to avoid. I have lists, all that stuff. Be more than happy to share it with you. Key notes here. If you are eating a calorie restricted diet or a low carb diet, or both, important to have plenty of water because you get dehydrated, and it's counterintuitive. It is the more water you drink, the less you actually hold, and so within reason. If you're having 8 glasses plus a day, you're in perfect shape. Particularly if you're eating a low carb, low calorie diet, you need to drink at least 8 glasses of water a day. You also need to get enough fiber so it doesn't shut down your digestive, because a healthy digestive is a lean, flat tummy. So, without getting too graphic, you should be going to the bathroom almost every time you have a solid meal. And if you're not, then your system's not clean enough. It's holding on to stuff. Things you should cut out: red meat. Red meat doesn't fully digest. I've heard some crazy things like the average American dies with 14 pounds of undigested red meat in their intestines. I've looked into it. The jury's still out on it, but at the end of the day, it doesn't fully digest. And I look for foods that digest very cleanly and quickly through my system. Flaky fishes, chicken, turkey, breast, of course, and organic if possible, and farm-raised if possible. Wild-caught if possible. But anything that breaks down really easy in your system is kind of what you want to eat, as well as low glycemic. So all those things are going to help keep your digestive going. A healthy gut means a healthy person. That's where immune system starts. And as promised, last week I said if you tune in this week, I'll give you a little simple tip on how you can shed 5 pounds in literally just a couple days. Now, this is not a quick fix. This is more of a Band-Aid, and I've used it before when I've got to come in extra crispy for shoots. I've recommended this to some of my clients when they needed to drop a bunch of weight real quick for a vacation or a wedding or whatever it is. There are simple things that you can do to cleanse your body, right? There's herbs like Casa Sagrada, detox teas. There's even body cleanses that have a combination of these herbals in it that literally flush you out. And basically they're natural laxatives, so I don't recommend taking them for any length of time. If you're in a jam and you need to shed a few pounds in a couple days and you want to look super tight and lean, you can get some detox tea with Casa Sagrada in it, and it will do the trick. Beware, within the next 12 to 24 hours, you're going to need a bathroom, and you're probably not going to be able to be somewhere out without a bathroom for hours on end. But after that initial rush, you'll be good. And it will lean you out and dump all your water and your waste within a couple of days. I mean, really, and beyond. My advice is if you do that, do not do it often, because you will become dependent upon it to go to the bathroom. And the other thing is, if you do it, make sure that you take some probiotics afterwards to replenish the ones that you're stripping from your system when you flush. But it will definitely dump you. And so that is the tip of the day. Next week, I am going to talk about the proper way to train that will activate your metabolism. I touched down on it today, but it's the integral part to eating right is training right, okay? So next week I'm going to get more into training to max your metabolism. I truly appreciate you jumping in. Thanks for that, Jonathan Ratner. Great seeing you and stopping by. I really appreciate it. Maria Molina and Wendy Woods, awesome. Love you guys. Until next week, strong body, strong mind, strong life. Let's do this. If you haven't already, like Healthy Fit Club so you can stay connected to these episodes. And we've got an amazing amount of quality information coming down that feed. And so if you want the latest and greatest and science-backed, not bro science, but science-backed health and fitness from the industry leaders like Healthy Fit Club, and follow along so you don't miss one of these episodes or any of the golden nuggets that we pass forward. So God bless you. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you next Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and I hope you have an amazingly beautiful night.